remains was still there. And it's interesting that out, I think in Verona Cemetery, there's the millstones on the Stevensons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll go back through the photographs to see if we've, like, if there was an extra packet. We have boxes that we are still going through. The photographs were all together. The collection, they were in 5 boxes. I inventoried, put them back into 5 clean boxes, and really the way I inventoried them was in the order that they were in by the Fitzgeralds. Okay? They never left that order.
But I felt quite honored to have been a part of his exploration of the Stevenson Mill. As soon as I began to mention, you know, that it was going to be gone,
Sure.
we must go, we must go.
Yeah. And that's really how folks nowadays feel too. There are people in the community that still feel, okay, that's going to go, okay, we need to make sure we photograph it, we need to make sure we try to at least document it if we can't stop the progress. Are there any questions about the Fitzgeralds? About anything in the collection?
I might make mention of the Morrell Fitzgerald Cemetery book. Mr. Morrell lives in Virginia, and what Boone County connection he has, I have.
He does actually, there were else, he does have a family connection to Boone County.
Okay. I copied in my Civil War research as many tombstones, inscribed stones as I could.
Right.
And whenever I run across an 1830, 1840 birth date, I copied it down. I would then exhaust what sources I had to see if he was a soldier. Mm-hmm. The excess, or as I was through with that, I sent first to William. Mm-hmm. And after William died, I then sent it to Ann. She got overwhelmed with it. I don't know how many I copied, but there was a bunch. Mr. Morrell called me and asked my permission to use the stones that I had copied and gave to him, which I was tickled to death that he could use them.
Sure, absolutely.
And,
it's a fantastic resource.
but he, there was some that after Ann got overwhelmed with what I was sending down there to her, she said, send them up to the Kentucky Historical Society. Very good. That was at least some use to someone.
Right.
And the ones that are in that book is the ones prior unto the ones that I sent to Frankfurt.
Because we have some that ended up with Susan Cabot and Matt Becker also.
Uh-huh.
Because, and we have those transcriptions in a separate book. They're in 2 large binders, and they're connected to the county GIS site for, we have cemetery locations, and then we have the transcriptions and the written locations documented for those cemeteries. And you're in that book. Yeah. You're in those records, but they're just individual sheets.
Well, my witness over here, Bruce, was the guide. We hiked every creek.
Searching for
everything, searching for anything. We didn't care what it was.
So do you think KHS has some of that stuff and they don't know it?
You mean me? Yes.
No.
Well, while we were out there, he's a witness. I held up the group that was going and scratching out names as quick as I could get them down because the guys wanted to go, you know.
But you sent those to the
Historical
Society.
Yeah, and some of them I copied did wind up in the Kentucky Historical Society. I went up there in the new building, which I was overwhelmed. Oh my
It's
God!
a beautiful building.
So I went to where that they said these books might be, the ones that I had copied. In Boone County, we have more stuff than they do about this. I've had everything. I didn't need to go in there. I already had it, you know. So what happened to those? Perhaps 100 or 150, I have no idea.
Well, can we end the video so I can say what I'm going to say next?
Well, it's been a long time ago also.
We just took a little break.
I'm wondering if anyone is doing this now.
The library started, okay? Until, well, you're looking at the local history department, Lori Wilcox and I, we depend on volunteers. We tend to burn out our volunteers pretty quickly because the projects, you know, what do you mean there's 200 more files for me to go through? You know, we have a lot of materials. I did have someone who was documenting things, he became very ill. What I can say to you all is it's great now with digital cameras in some ways, because you all can go out, if you see something of interest, you don't have to document the whole world or the whole county. Document your own part of your world. And then you can send me copies of the digital files. And then we have them. They're there.
Or regular photographs.
Or regular photographs. If you don't have a digital camera, I'll always take original photographs. Any other questions? Well, why don't you all come down here, look at the photographs, look at some of the things we have, and I can try to answer some questions for you, okay? Thank you. You're welcome.
I'll just mention to you all that the November meeting of the Society will be here, usual time and place, and Matt Becker and Lori McEntee are going to do a program about the architect George Nicholson of Walton. Most of us who are either old-time Waltonians or fairly new like me are familiar with his work. In fact, I think here his son built my house even. So be sure and remember that.
Yeah.
And if there's no business to come before this, we'll adjourn to enjoy the display.
Knew this was, yeah.
Right, yeah.
And they
Huh?
Yeah.